How are you this morning? Hi. So I didn't actually even pull the cards yet. So you're going to get to watch that whole process. I have no idea what is in store for the collective today. And that's because I actually started my day off differently. I started my day off with meditation and then exercise. I've been trying to reestablish like this morning schedule for a while. And the morning schedule that I've been working on is getting up and not touching my phone for the first little bit of the morning. During that time, I meditate, do yoga, and at some point hope to incorporate some other things in there. But, this morning I decided, hey, opportune time to start just cleaning the house first thing in the morning instead of touching my phone. So let's see what's in store for us for the collective today. Okay. And anyway, we're going to stick with the cards that we've got. Although the other day I was playing with the Rose Oracle cards and it was fun. Good morning, Joanne. How are you, love? Good morning. Good morning. Whoever's on, if you wouldn't mind saying hi, then I'll know who's there. Hi, Michelle. How are you, love? All right. Let's see what's. Ooh, there's definitely. Oh, I caught it all but a couple that fell. I did email you back. I'm pretty sure I emailed you back, but I will check again just to make sure. But I will totally call. I will totally respond if there's been another email. I did send you, I believe I sent you my booking link and 2 of them. Good morning, Alex. How are you? And good morning, Mark and Demon James. Good morning, James. You need guidance? What can I help you with in guidance? I'm still shuffling these cards after I threw them. And I already have the card picked out. See, this is what happens when I don't prep beforehand. I can definitely put you on the list, Michelle, for sure. And yeah, like I said, I'll check with the email. I'll check with your email just to make sure that I'll make sure that I did respond to the latest one, just in case another one, in case you responded we'll just make sure. But Michelle, I have you on the list. Good morning. I don't know who's saying good morning on Facebook. Good morning, though. Welcome to the show. Well, look at, I have chappy stick, colored tinted chopstick that got on my tooth. Hi, Mirth. Definitely you can have a card on the list. And good morning, Alex. So yeah, we can see what our and Juhi definitely on the list. Early on the list too. So you just have to get through the collective reading and then not long after that. Yes, I'll tag you too, okay? Aw, well, I feel like I'm out. I can be here for you. On my page is my link if you wanted to book a call to talk and see how I can help you. But I don't think that anyone should feel alone. I know what that feels like, to feel like there's no one out there for you. All right, one more card, guys. One more cards. Yeah, I felt like that before. Like, good morning, Angela. Felt like that before. Good morning, Ryan. How are you, love? I felt like that before, where I felt like there's no one out there for me. And then I've made some good connections and thought, oh, this is the one. And then, well, it didn't turn out that way. They weren't the one. They were just an experience. But yeah, I'm definitely, I hear where you're coming from. So let's see how the show is going to go for today. We're going to start with our 18 in protection mode. So the serendipity in protection mode. So let's see what that's telling us all about. Okay. So number 18 in protection mode. Well, I hope, Lana, that that's not the case. But are you paying your rent? Are you taking care of the property? Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's somebody out there for you. You know what, James? I'm gonna put you on the list. And you know what? Yeah. Anyway, you're cute from your little picky. Good morning, Zara. Thank you. I French braided it this morning because I set my alarm clock. I got up. I didn't touch my phone for the first hour of the morning. Instead, I puttered around and cleaned, and I did my hair, and I did yoga, and I did all these other things, and I feel so good, like such a great morning for it. So let's see what our collective reading is. So to do a scheduled reading, the scheduled reading that I do is between 45 and an hour. If you book it with me, it'd be a private session, just you and me. And I would pull, depending on what reading you wanted, anywhere from 3 to 6 cards, depends, but mostly around the 5 card range. And they're $45 Canadian, so not a lot. But I do have other programs where you can work with me to deal with trauma and mental health, where I have 2 different programs, one where it includes the mystical, and then one where it doesn't include the mystical so much, because I know that not everybody's into oracle cards. So I have one that's just education and group programming and interaction with me, but on a guiding you through process, as opposed to my Sacred Journey Oracle ones, where it's working through your trauma and mental health while being guided by the Oracle cards. And I have an individual and group program of that. So the group program's half the cost of the individual. But for just a standalone reading, $45. But if you're here in the morning, you can get your card pulled for free, give you a little bit of clarity one day. That's a possibility. So there. Okay, so the protection message of serendipity. Perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. Good morning, Melinda. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one. Yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you where you're meant to go. Pay attention to the signs present to you, right? So I'm just going to turn off invites on my live. So that's a really important message for us, right? Like, and I've been there. The last person that I spoke to, I thought that was going to be my one. I thought it was after I had exited my relationship. I met this person, super great connection. Really, like, I couldn't believe like the connection that we had, and then they ghosted me. So that was supposed, there's a lesson for me to learn there. Instead of letting it eat me apart as to why it happened, I just looked at, well, what was the lesson? Well, the lesson was, I mean, they did make me think about my mom. They made me think more about my mom and other things. Good morning, Chamim and Annie. Hello. Love you guys. So number 54, let's see what the rest of this message holds for us, because that may give us some guidance. And as we go along, the more clarity that provides, it might feel like it's more for you, as opposed to right now where it feels like it could be for anybody. A lot of us have had those serendipity. That totally suit me, especially like in the morning. I run around and I'm like, hi to all my plants and animals. I'm like, I love you, I love you, I love you, as I go through the morning. So that the flower wreath was beautiful. So number 54, the crossing. So this is an initiation. Okay. Number 54, initiation. So the other thing is 1 and 8 is 9. 5 and 4 is 9. So we're at two 9s. And then we have a 6. We're really on fire with these 3 6s and 9s, and sometimes 11. That's really nice. So you have come to stand on one side of the river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave where the old dies and is born again. This is a place where time is forgotten and the seasons cease their dance and stand still, as if in a temporary repose. You must cross the river, definitely on the board, on there's Chameen. Sorry, just had to check my other messages, make sure that I was all caught up. And Zoe, you can definitely get on the list, love. And this is the general reading, sweetheart. It totally is. So this is a place where time is forgotten and the seasons cease their dance and stand still as if a temporary repose. You must cross the river now, honoring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways in navigating your world. Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you're ready. You're ready to let go of what doesn't serve you and all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Annie and Melinda, you're both on the list for sure. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the masks and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step in the boat waiting for you. Let it carry you into the cave where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated so you can be born again into the world without denial or artifice. Making the crossing is a beautiful, powerful act of the highest love. I put you on the board, Aru. Just making sure the other ones. So we've got this serendipitous synchronicity event that, you know, maybe was the ending of a relationship that you thought that was the one, or a job or a career or a role. There was something that you thought was just the best, like just lining up for you beautifully, and it turned out not to be. So whatever it is, we're going to go through this release process to get rid of what isn't in our highest good. So let's see what the astral card, we're going to learn about the fourth house today, which the fourth house is all about home. Okay, the fourth house is the house of Cancer. If you're a Cancer sign, you know that Cancer really loves to be at home, or if you have Cancer rising or Cancer moon, right, that would show up for you in different ways in your life. But Cancer is definitely a home thing, right? So let's see where this one goes. And this is the number 6. So we have 996. All right. So just so you know, 3, 9, and 6, they're just better. They're just different numbers, right? When you, the fib, like when you go through certain things, like if you took 1 and doubled it, you have 2. If you 2 double it, 4. If you 4 double it, you have 8. If you 8 double it, you have 16. 6 and 1 becomes 7. So now we're at 7. If you double 16, you get 32. 3 and 2 is 5. So you have a 5. If you take 32 and 32, you put it together, you get 64. 6 and 4 is 10, which brings you back to 1. So we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, but we never see 3, 6, or 9. You see 3, 6, and 9 because they're divine, exactly. And you see 3, 6, and 9 in things with time, 60 minutes, 24 hours, 2 and 4 become 6, right? And so if you go through that, and in circles, right? When we're measuring circles, 180 degrees, 360 degrees, they all become 9. So really, really cool. Good morning, Amanda, love, welcome. And if you'd like on the board, you just let me know and I'll put you on the board for a card. So yeah, 3, 6, and 9 are divine numbers. So it's interesting that lately we've been pulling a lot of these divine numbers in the reading. Really cool. Good morning from San Diego. Welcome, Marla. Okay, so let's see what we're going to learn about Cancer. And Amanda, you're on the list. And I'm going to put Marla on the list preemptively because I have the pen in my hand, so I might as well. Okay, so Cancer is symbolized by a crab who asks us, oh, sorry. You know what was funny? I went to Cancer instead of to the fourth house. So just give me a second. I was just totally in my head about Cancer. All right, home. If your chart were a village map, the fourth house would be your home base. Our early home life impacts our sense of sanctuary and how we bring things to conclusion. So one thing that I did today, and this is really interesting that we've got the home card coming up, is I lit my little incense burner. So this is my little incense burner. It's got a little tree of life in it. And the little thing that I decided to put on there is an incense for your root chakra. And your root chakra is all about home and safety and security. It's your base, it's your root, right? So if you feel insecure, or if you're having issues with feeling safe, or even within being able to financially provide for you or to get food or stuff like that, that's out of the root chakra. And Amanda, you are on the list, my love. Okay. So let's see what the rest of us about this fourth house talks about. So come home and make it a sanctuary. Create a place to renew and to live an intimate, authentic life. Home is an emotional space more than a physical address, but both matter. In the practical realm, it may be time to renovate, reorganize, or move in the physical realm, or to negotiate boundaries with a roommate. Create a home that feels safe and renewing at the end of the day, where you are truly off stage so you can drop your guard and refill your wells. The fourth house also speaks of existential homesickness, of a longing for a home you've never had. If you don't have a map from childhood to create a sanctuary, make one. Be ready to do the next layer of therapy or tend to some work around family karma. Think about how you would like to have been parented rather than how you were parented, and use that as a model for self-care. And this is exactly what I teach people. Yeah, it's a beautiful little one. And it came in a little package. You can definitely be on there, Sarav. So, sorry, if I show the right thing. So it came in a package. So it has it has the 7 incenses plus the holder came in it. So it's really, really nice one. And I love the smell of the incense from it. So I figured, I don't know why, I was thinking that we'll go through all of them. So today we'll do the root, tomorrow we'll do the sacral, Wednesday we'll do the solar plexus, and on Thursday we'll do the heart chakra, and then on Friday we'll do the throat, and then maybe I'll do a full week of lives, although that would mean that on Sunday we're doing the crown chakra, which is Christmas. So I don't know about doing a live on Christmas. We'll have to see what we can come up with. But maybe next week on Monday and Tuesday, we'll do the ajna and the crown. So drop down to in the spiritual realm, build or visualize a meditation place, a portable sanctuary that can be a home to your spiritual practice. Explore the quiet depths of your meditation. Drop down to your hara, to your center of gravity, and renew your connection to the earth beneath, the sky above, and the spirit within. So there's our root chakra. We're gonna ground down into that. Yeah, normally I do take Saturday and Sunday off, but we'll see. We'll see about this week if I want to do all 7 incenses back to back without skipping a day. Might have to do a quick little live just to share the incense for a little bit. So the challenge is, if you're asked about a project, check that it is well situated. Make sure the people involved feel safe and have a healthy work-life balance. On all these levels, develop a healthy approach to bring a project to conclusion. Know when to stop. So the challenge, let your home be a sanctuary that helps you prepare to deal with the world, not a place in which you hide from the world. The gift, a sanctuary within your soul and safe surroundings in which to renew, allow you to regenerate, find your center, and greet the world afresh. And your home should be a safe place, right? Yeah. Like your home should be a safe place. It should be a sanctuary. And a lot of us don't know how to create that because we've never had a safe place in our home, right? If you were in a traumatic home environment and definitely, sorry, I need to make sure I put your name on there. So you're definitely on the list. Nice, on the solstice. Yes, because we're coming up to the winter solstice. So the winter solstice is the longest night of the year. And that's really a night in which you want to, you would do other things like maybe eat by candlelight. You would just be more introspective, quiet, more internal in that day. But I'm going to be doing something about that within the Divine Feminine Healing Collective as well. So let's see what it ties it all together, because we're looking at right now, this serendipitous event that we thought it was going to be the one, whether that was the role, the job, whichever it was, we thought it was going to be the one. we've come to this place where we've got to go through, we've got to let go of all of those things that are limiting us, that are holding us back. And part of that might be looking at our home and creating a sanctuary where you can go and regenerate. You know, you can go through this rejuvenation process at home where it's safe, and you know, you're going to come back out into the world feeling really alive and refreshed, right? And sometimes that means that when you're coming home, think of this like little thing as like as a portal or a doorway that closes down, and what's in the outside world gets left behind, right? Because sometimes we get into those situations where we carry all of our baggage in from the workplace into our home, and then we make it all just not good, right? So we want to work on some of that. Hi, Tom, how are you? Right? And hi, Jamal. So let's see what this one has to talk about, because I know our page is a good little, she's smart. The page is smart, right? The page is very energetic and not. Yeah, exactly. Right. So sometimes that internal space that we need to create safety in is actually within us, not in our home. And that was what that card had talked about too, right? With making ourselves, you know, not just a sanctuary in our home, but a sanctuary in our mind. And it's interesting because that's the first step in my trauma wellness program, is creating safe spaces. And one safe space is in your home, and the other safe space is in your mind. So it's really cool. Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you, Juhi. I love you. Hi, Lori. Nice. Welcome. And I'm actually going to put you on the list, Lori. I have a feeling you're giving me your name so I can do so. Okay, so let's see what our lovely Page of Swords is coming to tell us. He's got a good message for it. Yes. So the Page, restless energy. Curiosity, a thirst for information, learning new things, an apprentice or student, intellectual pursuits, ideas and reasoning, a messenger. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I was saying this morning, I got up and I stayed off my phone for the first hour, and I did some cleaning, and I did French braided my hair, which, you know, so yeah. It was just a different morning. I'm trying to make it a morning without being on my phone for the first little bit, and do all these other activities like meditate and yoga, which I did get my yoga and part of them at like a short meditation this morning. But let's see what our shade is, our Page is coming to tell us. Okay. 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 So if anyone wants to send me a box of traction tape for my stairs, I would love that, because this house, he's okay. He's okay. There's no noise from him, no whimper, no nothing, no cry out. He's lying down okay. He doesn't seem to, but whoosh. Oh, terrifying. Oh my gosh. Okay, he moved to change position. He's okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go and get like traction tape for my steps, because oh my God, that's just like, he's fallen. He fell down the stairs once already. He was going up the stairs and he fell back down the stairs. So like he was like going down like this, holding on, which yeah, so he's okay though. He's okay. Now he's being the neighborhood watch, and there must be like something outside that, yeah, somebody was walking past the house. So he's like sitting there and he's like, boo. But he's fine. He's fine. We're good. All right. He's not good. He's like somebody's, yes. So I'm gonna get I don't even care if the landlord doesn't like it. I'm going to get traction tape for her, because as someone who's worked in occupational health and safety, she could be liable if somebody falls down those stairs, because they are unsafe. The stairs are at a more pitch than what normal stairs are. And because it's an older place, you can see that they've put toppers on the steps, but the original steps are actually, they're quite narrow stairs. So they're narrow stairs, and the toppers that they have on them are laminate. So the laminate is very slippery. So the stairs are at a little bit high, like a little bit more of a pitch than what they should be. And so it's just slippery. So I'm going to go and get just traction tape to put across the, yes. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. My baby's okay. I'm good. I'm good. Let's get back to our page and see what our page is telling us. Maybe he's telling me to go get some tape right now, today. Go get tape for your step. Maybe the corner store has some. They might have some proper, like some tape. Who knows? My corner store actually is a supermarket store, and it has this little section of like weird stuff. Yeah, it is. It's the old style step stairs. And it was kind of funny because the guy that I had, I've been talking to him for like almost 6 months, and like we had this amazing connection, and then he just ghosted me one day. But we had joked about when he was supposed to be coming to visit me, and then just ghosted me, and then we've never ended up doing that. But he was going to put help me fix the stairs when he came. Well, now I'm going to just do it on my own, like I do most of my things on my own. Yes, exactly. Because there isn't that liability that's on this side of the stairs, right? Just on the one side. And when my mom's here, like I make my mom wear like those tread socks because she's, in her 60s. So I make her wear tread, like socks that have the little sticky treads on them. And I'm always, when people are going down the stairs, I'm like, grab the handrail, hold the handrail, hold the handrail. So, and yes, absolutely. My son can help. And he probably would. If I actually said so, he would probably, I'd be like, Christopher, you need to grab me some tape and come out, right? The next time that you come out, bring tape and we'll fix the stairs. And he would in a heartbeat. So curious and intelligent, this page has a thirst for knowledge that seems unquenchable. She is an incredibly quick-witted communicator, and she's often compelled to share her many ideas or messages with others. At times, she's so talkative that it becomes too much for others to process, and her intense energy can come across as unsettled or even nervous. She suggests using an air of inventiveness in your current pursuit. Your goals will be met by walking a path of honest discovery, especially where others are concerned. Keep the light bulbs of curiosity turned on and cultivate a beginner's mind as you strive to learn new things. Avoid falling into gossip or even arrogance with your communication. In shadow, this page can be all talk and no action. Remember that everyone who crosses your path has something specific to teach you, and that mirrors are all around. Remain open to unexpected lessons, share truthfully, and delight in every interaction. I learn and I expand my consciousness and open up to new opportunities for my life. So really, really good message there. And this page can also be, sometimes seems like the little bit of the know-it-all of the crew. Very like Gemini energy. Not that Geminis are know-it-alls, but a Gemini has that they're very knowledgeable and very talkative, right? Like they share both of those qualities. So they would be out telling you like and talking about all the things that they know. Right. But what this card is talking about within this reading is just to have that beginner's mindset, that curiosity, right? Because we're letting go of those limiting beliefs and the things that don't serve us. And it really helps to have a beginner's mindset, that curiosity of what can I learn in this experience, especially with this serendipitous event that happened with that person, right? What can I learn or what can I garner? So for me, with that person that came into my life, I learned that I was definitely at a stage where I'm open to finding someone, which I wasn't certain of at the time when I first started talking to this person. I was really kind of thinking maybe I was ready to start looking at dating again. But at the same time, I was still in a little bit of a blocked off space. So I was like, no, everybody that came along, this person just managed to stay. And we just kept talking. So I thought there was a reason why. So then the lesson, there was just, what was the lesson that I could learn from that experience? One, I'm open for that. I'm open to finding my partner at this time. And two, gave me an understanding about, because he made me appreciate my mom more just in the situation that we had. So look for what the lessons are within the experience that you're going through and how you can use that to fuel the change that you need to go through. Make your sanctuary at home and in your inner space, right? Those sanctuaries should be protected. And then, we're going to deal with all those limiting beliefs in the process. So really, really interesting message for this morning. And in the sense of like 9999 and 6, right? The page doesn't have a number, so there's no number for that. Let's put them back in their respective piles. Got to take care of our stuff. All right. Now that the dog is downstairs, we know there's going to be no more instances like that. So I can breathe a little back to easily, but I am going to take a little sip now and just. And we're good. We're good. Yes. Most of us are like, that's what we're spending our whole lives just learning experiences, right? We're learning how to become the most authentic version of ourselves. We are all creators. We are all like capable of so much more than what we even give ourselves credit for, right? I think about my life, right? I think about who I am, like where I started out and where I've got to and all the different things that I've experienced. I'm actually going to turn this one's up a little bit high and I think it's up. You're coming, Surav. You're on the list, but then, because of the general reading and of course, depending on how much chatter and how much conversation there is, it can take a little bit longer, but I am starting the list of those who have requested cards. So I'm going to start with Michelle. Michelle, if you're still there, just let me know. And otherwise I will move on. And after Michelle is Mirth. After Michelle is Mirth. Ooh, you know what? I'm slowly going through all of my coffee. And then when I was done all of my coffee, I was going to take a break from coffee, which will be interesting. I am a nurse and we do have a joke about nurses that we run on coffee. Like we literally, put it in our. Zoe, you're about sixth. You're sixth on the list, Zoe. And Iskra, I can definitely put you on the list. You're a bit further down, Amanda, like probably 10th, maybe 10th. It's a little bit of one, but I put you on the list, Iskra. Okay. All right. This will never get faster if I don't actually pull the card. So is Michelle there? And if Michelle's not there, then I'm going to move on to Mirth. Okay. Coffee through an IV, exactly. Okay, Mirth. Because Michelle didn't answer in time, I decided to pull for you. So okay, Michelle, I will pull your card after Mirth. We'll just reverse the order, okay? All right. So Mirth, and won't help me to look in that book. It is not the right book. Number 34, Mirth. And leg up. And I'm going to look at the time just for Mirth because just in case... We'll go 33 minutes. Mirth, a leg up. So leg up's looking for having. Aw, nice. That's sweet, James. Thank you. Oddly enough, James, your name is the same as the name of the person that ghosted me. He was a James too. But anyway, cute. For Mirth. Aw, you're so sweet, Marla. So yeah, we can always do a little bit of an adjustment. So if you have to leave, just let me know that you have to leave. And then we can always readjust things for those that have to go a little quicker. Okay. For those who are willing to stay. Appreciate that from you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So the Oracle's message for Mirth. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. And now is such a time. There's another person who had their last ex was a James. Oh, James. Just teasing. Okay. So I have a funny feeling that you're a lovely person, and that's that. So for mirth, right? And that help, right? Sometimes we get stuck with being able to ask for help, right? Because if you've lived in those traumatic home environments, you're not used to getting good help, for one. Sometimes the help that we asked for when we were children, we were mocked or made fun of or made to feel weak or whatnot. Or when we were little kids and we were actually just trying to get our basic needs met, our parents weren't there to help us with even our basic needs. So in the end, we don't expect that people are going to be reliable. We don't expect that people are going to show up and do what they're supposed to do and help us out. But in this situation, it is asking you to rely on the other people that are there, that there's somebody in your area who's going to help you out and give you a leg up. And that could be somebody that's there, that's holding out their hand and saying, hi, let me help you for free. But it could be somebody that's holding out their hand that's saying, hi, come to me. I can guide you in the right direction. Yeah. I loved, and you know what? Demon James, they, both me and Marla are saying that we very much loved our Jameses. I did too. I thought he was my person. He just decided I wasn't his and he ghosted me. So now I'm like, well, you're clearly not my person, because my person would never do that to me. But in the amount that I knew, in the 6 months that we spent talking, and for probably the last 4 months, we talked every day. So I worried actually that something bad happened to the person, because they just disappeared completely. So I hope that he's okay. That's my biggest thing. I caught it. All right. This card's for Michelle. Justin, perfect. I'll call you whatever your name is. I'll call you whatever you want. It's okay. I'm good with it, because I really do believe that what's meant for me will never pass me by. And I do know that the person that is my partner is out there, and that I'm totally worthy and all of that stuff. I've done a lot of work on my mental health. And you know what, Nikita, you put hello down, and I was like, oh, I'm going to put Nikita on the list. And I wrote hello. So how about we put Nikita instead of hello? So I'll know that it's you, not a hello. But this one is for Michelle. And I always love this card for the message that it is for everybody. Okay. And the message for everybody is the here and now, right? This is number 32. We want to be in the 32. Yeah. Yeah. And I've done that. You holding on, right? Sometimes we hold on to things that aren't meant for us because we're worried that there's not going to be anything to replace it. That is, it's almost like, the funny thing is we don't think we're good enough. Like half the time, like we really have these viewpoints of us that we're not good enough. So then we get into these relationships that don't fulfill us, and we stay in them, even if they're toxic, but we'll stay in them because we think that at least it's good enough. Right? It's good enough. It's not what we want. It's not what we need. It's not what would be good for us. But we're like, it's good enough. We'll stay because we're so worried we're going to have nothing, or that what's going to come is going to be worse than what we had. We don't want to believe that what we're going to get is going to be better. But oftentimes it is, because we've evolved and changed. So of course we're going to align ourselves with something a little better for us. Okay, Michelle. With no further ado, Michelle, this is for you. So it doesn't get any better than this: a quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. So radical acceptance is, even though I don't like that somebody ghosted me and it was hurtful, I'm radically accepting the fact that it happened and I can't change it. So what can I do for me to move beyond that? How can I move away from that so that it's not eating me up? Well, when I have thoughts about it, I can redirect my thoughts. When I feel bad about it, I can make myself feel good, right? I can make myself feel good by telling myself that I am loved and valuable and worthy, and that the only one that can truly abandon me is me. And I abandon myself by not standing up for myself, by not having boundaries, by allowing people to take advantage of me or walk all over me, things like that. So, that's, looking at that radical acceptance, okay? Everything in your world is exactly as it's supposed to be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it, right? Exactly. It's just God. And, when you think about that, redirection is God's protection. Sometimes we wouldn't remove people from our lives because we would think that it was okay. But God comes along and it's like, hey, you know what? You're not going to get rid of them, but this person isn't your person. So I'm going to protect you and I'm going to make them leave you so that you will move on, because otherwise you wouldn't, right? So it's almost like that redirection is God's protection, right? But thank you, Renee. Welcome. And welcome to Wani. I didn't say hi to you as well. Hi, guys. So for Michelle, being in the here and now, and it's a beautiful space to be, right? I love the here and now. Why? Because the here and now is the moment when you can make changes, right? And it's true. But then that could be that they're just not in the space, or they're not. And, we think, well, if I figure this out with this person, it's going to be perfect. My ex before this one, beautiful. We had like unhealthy bits in our relationship because he was traumatized. I was traumatized. And we got together because we were mirrors of each other in certain ways. And my demons meshed with his demons. And, we were an 80-20. 80% of our relationship was fantastic. 20% of it, shit. But the 20% that's shit is really bad, right? But we accept it and we're like, whatever, we're just going to deal with it. Now, we could have worked and grown together and maybe stayed together, but we didn't. And in the end, what ended up making us go our separate ways is that when I healed before him, I healed first, and I couldn't tolerate the toxicity of him being unhealed at that time. And in my healing, I decided to drastically change who I was. So we used to be in the situation of we would sit and I would come home from work, we'd play video games, maybe on the weekends, we would go, Juhi, I'll pull your card next if you want. If you want, I can pull your card right now. Because you are next anyway. This is your card. Okay. We talked about the here and now, but Juhi, this is your card. If you can stay for 2 seconds, I will pull your card for you. We can do the chitty chat at some other point. Deep knowing. Number 43, a 7. Oh, where did I put the book? Oh, I'm looking all over for my book. Oh. Sorry to hear. Wow. Violates vow to keep quiet. Consider source as a bouncer. I love that. How will your birthday go? Oh, did you recently break up with somebody and that's and you're wondering how your birthday is going to go now that you're single? Is that kind of what I'm getting from what you've written there, Juhi? Well, let's see. Because this is deep knowing. Oh, happy birthday on Christmas Day. That's a happy birthday. That's a challenging date to have a birthday, by the way. December is, 2 Christmas babies being aw. Well, I can tell you having a birthday in December sucks. Having a birthday. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. So your message, Juhi, so you can get to work. So I'll give you the general and then we'll see. Maybe I'll give you the relationship message just to add that in there. Okay. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into dialogue with source, right? That's our sixth sense is intuition. And most of us are turned off from our intuition because, well, society, it's complicated, but most of us are turned off to our intuition. We don't rely on that gut feeling or that sixth sense that we get, that we just know, right? We know, we just choose not to do anything about the knowing. We, like, when you get the flags come up, right? It's like, you know, they're not pretty decorations. You get a red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, and you're like, woohoo, let's collect all these red flags and we'll just wave them, right? But and yeah, you know what? You can get your name on the list, Tracy, and birthdays that's okay. You don't have to have a birthday to get one. All right. So we know, but we don't listen to our knowing, right? Instead, we wait for something like feeling like concrete, like we wait for somebody to tell us or something like that. But it's mostly about just following our intuition, our knowing. So intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into dialogue with source, the consciousness that you are a part of, but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what's available in the limitations of human experience. You're given information that may make no senses whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So this is the relationship part that I'm adding into it. There are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected on a level impossible to respond. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So what it's saying is, you know, deep in your heart, you know, and maybe there's somebody else that's entered your life or is about to enter your life, not sure, but you know in your heart of hearts, like there's that intuition that's just like, I know this person is, you know, not really meant for me. Or I know that this person and I are connected on a different level. Now, being meant to be, or being a soulmate, or being connected like that doesn't mean a forever love, right? Just that's a big thing to remember. Sometimes soulmates come to crack us wide open so that we heal and become the most highest version of ourselves, right? That we fall in love with ourselves and we learn who we really are and what we really want and become authentic. Right? Sometimes it's that bam, that happens, right? So it cracks you wide open. It hurts so bad that it just opens you up to being you. And you're finally like, this is who I am. This is what love means to me. This is what a normal life looks like to me. This is the boundaries I'm willing to put in place because I'm not going to tolerate crap from people, because I know my worth now and I love myself and I'm being authentically me. And you're either going to align with me or you're going to just leave, right? So that's this, just you have a deep knowing, you know what is right in this situation, or whether that person is. Now we're only half the equation, right? We're only half the equation. And unless he's willing to meet you halfway, then you know your answer, right? We know our answer. So, and thank you, Melinda. Melinda and I need to connect, because I love Melinda. Melinda has been such a supporter and such a champion to try to get me out there. And I appreciate that so much. So I started off I was a welfare baby. So my parents, I shouldn't say that. I think when I was born, violently born, by the way, my mom was in an abusive domestic violence, was a part of our early days. My mom was hit in the stomach with a baseball bat and knocked down a flight of stairs, and I was born premature. after that experience. And, you know, and just abuse and neglect and stuff throughout my life. But we grew up and we were quite poor. And there were several times throughout our life that I ended up homeless. This would be for James, as James wants, but James says he has all day, so he can stick around. So we can move on. If somebody needs, I'm going to put it out there. Is anybody in a rush that needs to leave really fast? Because if anybody has to leave really fast, we can always bump you up a little bit. And Clara, on YouTube, I am not getting naked. Just to put that out there. Oh, I know. I think that's so much. Annie, you're in a rush and need to go. Okay. So if James was okay with me bumping someone up. So I'm going to bump Annie up, and then I'll just look down on the list to where you are and make sure that we pop you off the list. So we got Juhi, Murthan. All right. Perfect. Hi, Stephen. You can stay till 10:10. 10:10. And you need to go early. Equal. Right, I know, right? Like, and it's weird. It's YouTube. YouTube is like, there's people that come on YouTube and see my live, and they ask me like to get naked and all this. I don't know what it is with YouTube. You guys are weird on YouTube. Like, you need to check your stuff. Hi, Sorav. Perfect. Okay, so Annie, this is for you. New life. Okay, number 39. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad that you felt drawn in. I've been sending out my message to everybody, trying to draw people into me. I really am. Why? Because I need to pay my bills. I need to pay my. So as much as I want to draw people in that need help and that I can give guidance and stuff like that, I also left my nursing career to do trauma healing and mental health healing. And part of it. Okay, we're good. There was a little I don't know. My Wi-Fi was weird this morning. Okay, so new life for Annie. Okay, Annie, your new life protection message as well. And Stephen, I put you on the list. And Lori, you are on the list. That was just weird. We just blanked out for a second there. It just totally, the screens went black. Oh, now this one's gone black. That's so weird. TikTok, you might be next. I don't know. Hold on. Because first it was that screen went black and now it's this one's. Annie, you must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate bud just opening. It's okay to admit that you might not know something. You are at the beginning of things and you haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. So that's a really good old Canada where everything freezes. I love that. I'm actually going to close some of my internet pages that I have running in the background, just in case they're like hogging any of the bandwidth. I can reopen them later. So there, I have completely minimized all of the other interactions with the Wi-Fi. I don't know. It was weird. I reset it this morning too, because it seemed like there was a little bit of a connection issue this morning. And Instagram's like, I can't do it. I just can't. I can't. It's hobbling along. No, but that's okay. So Annie, and I don't know, because this like oh no, come on. Did it come back? Are we good? Are we here? You got me? I'm paused on TikTok. Thank you, Zara. Let me know when this one comes back up. What I might do is just take Yeesh. I might take, all right, let's see. Thank you, Zara, for letting me know that. I'm going to take TikTok off to see if that helps. Although it is telling me like it's the Wi-Fi. So let's see. We're gonna disconnect Wi-Fi and connect Wi-Fi again and see if that helps. Because it's saying that the Wi-Fi is not. I don't know. I hope that. Oh, thank you, Kiki Panda. I'm working on it. We're going to take that off and we're going to put that back on. And then we're going to see if it connects and maybe it'll connect properly and we can go back to our TikTok and things will be, I definitely froze there. Hi. Am I back yet? Hi. So if I'm on TikTok, let me know. Good. Yeah, just my internet just had a bloop and like the internet solar. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's in retrograde right now. Just, let's see. Is TikTok back up and running? I'm getting a lot of yay, we're back. Woo, we're back. Yay. Okay, Annie, hi, yay, yay. So we're just gonna leave we're gonna leave Instagram. Maybe we'll see about Instagram. I know there was a lady on there that wanted a message, that wanted a card pull, but I'm just worried that if I put Instagram back into the mix, that it might be too much for us to handle. So we'll just leave Instagram off and I will connect with her and send her a card. I'll send her a card. So if something ever happened, and as long as I have a connection with you, like where I can do it, what I would do is just take a picture of the card and then I'll send you either a picture of the message or just a typed out message of what I intuit the message to mean. So I'll give you a little bit of messaging from that. So I really literally thank you guys so much, because it was so cool, because Zara was telling me on TikTok that and I was just like, thank you. I don't know. It's so weird because, like I said, I unplugged and plugged my internet back in this morning because, yeah, and I lost. We had over 10,000 likes on TikTok, and the little blip, they took 3,000 likes from me and said, you get to start all over. I was like, what? That's okay. You know what? And yeah, I'm on YouTube for sure. I'm on YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm trusting it now. Let's keep this going. Okay, we gotta go. I'm gonna reread the message for Annie for your new life, right? So your new life is having that, acknowledge that sometimes we have to actually acknowledge we don't know everything, or we don't know a lot, right? Depending on what it is all about, right? When it comes to quantum physics, I know like a smidgen, just a smidgen. So I would say I have a very beginner mindset when it comes to quantum physics. I mean, I know a little bit more than, some people do that have no knowledge about it, right? Like knowing about the quantum field or, about certain things. But when it comes to whatever situation you're in right now, Annie is asking you to just adopt, even if you think adopting that beginner's mindset makes you more open to education, more open to learning, right? So as a key point for all of us to remember when we're wanting to learn something, if you go in with a preconceived idea of if you take what you know into the equation when you're learning something new, you're going to be looking for it to align with the knowledge that you already have. If you go in with the idea that you know nothing, you're going to be so open and receptive to learning anything. And you could be surprised with what you learn. You might learn something completely new and different than what you weren't expecting, right? So that complete beginning, and wherever you are right now, you're just in the beginning of a cycle, right? So that means that it's just new and fresh, and things are just gonna come to you, and who knows how cool it's gonna be, what amazing things are on your way, right? So yeah, very cool, very cool. All righty, so after Annie is Chamim, unless we could always give James his card, because James was very sweet to let us have early. And checking on the Facebook thing to make sure. And yeah, you're welcome, Annie. All righty. I can't remember who it was that had to leave at 10:10. I feel like it was Zara. Was it you that had to leave at 10:10? Because if you were, we could always bump you up. And I'm not sure when Amanda has to bump out either, but we'll just keep going. Good morning, Jenny. How are you? Aw. Dewani, you can go later. You can go later. Okay, Dewani, I'll do you now, and thank you, James. Or Justin, James or Justin. We'll just call you JJ. Okay, perfect. Nice to see you. All right, Dewani. Ooh, so remember this morning when we had serendipity in protection mode? That might have been your whole reading this morning. The collective might have been just for you, right? You could definitely be on the list, Mel. Mel, you're on the list, okay? And Watson, I'll put a W behind it just in case. Zara, you're on the list. You're definitely on the list, Zara. Yeah, you're on the list. I think I saw you come in and I was like, she's going to want to be on the list. So I just threw you on the list. Is yours not working yet at all, Nikita? And Skara. Interesting. So if other people can let me know if it's working, because okay. I'm getting responses to, oh, cute. So cute. I love Snoopy. My dog has an actual stuffy, Snoopy stuffy. Okay. So serendipity, Dewani. Number 18 in protection mode. Okay. So we'll reread the message that we had this morning. Close, Zoe. You're just a couple down. Okay. So Dewani, perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. So did something come into your life that you were like, oh, is this divine timing? Is this, is this the one? Is this the perfect job? Is this the perfect, or is this my relationship? Getting into that kind of mindset of thinking that something had come to you was like maybe more going to stay longer than what it did stay, or was going to be bigger than what you thought it was going to be if you were going through some of that, right? And it could be that, that it fell apart, and it's okay, because all it's telling you is that really, it wasn't meant for you. The lesson or the experience was what you were supposed to gain from it. And then you're just learning. It's just that learning that you needed to learn before you get going into the next phase, right? It's just guiding you where you're meant to go. So it's like sometimes, you're working at a job and you get fired, and it's one of those, like, it never should have happened. Like, you're not a bad employee, you didn't really do anything wrong. Maybe somebody lied and got you fired, and you're like, it's horrible, because maybe you thought that job was going to be more of a bigger job. Like, it felt like it was really like serendipitous. This is the best job ever. And then somebody lies about you and gets you fired. And you're like, I thought that was going to be the job. Like, I thought that was going to be the best, like the role. And in the end, my eyes like twitching. You get, you lose that job, and it's the lesson, right? And maybe the lesson is, you could learn something like, well, I have better skills, or I have more to offer, or the area that I could be focused in could be different, right? So that's kind of like the message of it, whether it's a relationship or a role. Sometimes we think it's the person. We've got the perfect person. This is our one, and we're going to be with that person forever. And then we find out we're not. So then you're like, well, what did I learn from this? Well, I learned I need to have better boundaries, or I learned I need to love myself more fully because I don't think that I'm good enough. Or maybe I need to work on some of my trauma or mental health because, I keep picking these guys that are emotionally unavailable because I'm not emotionally available for me. Or I keep picking these guys who make me feel like I'm not good enough. And it's because I don't think I'm good enough. So I just keep aligning and mirroring that out in my life, right? If however you feel about yourself, you'll find ways to mirror that in your life, whether that's through the people, the roles, how you treat yourself, whatever. And we'll keep realigning with stuff to teach us lessons until we actually learn, right? So if you want, we can always talk and I can help you navigate through that, Dewani. And I think that you and I should talk. I think you should look at the link that's in my thing and you can book a free call. So the only thing in my when you go through my Calendly, it'll cue you about what you're calling for, right? And based on that selection, it'll take you to a certain space. So I have a clarity call, which is a 30-minute call. I have another 45-minute call, and I have a 60-minute call. And all of those calls are free. There's no payment that's associated with those calls. So if you wanted to have a session with me, you can book a free call, and that would give us the opportunity to talk. The Oracle reading, the Sacred Journey individual, and the Sacred Journey group, they're all paid, like they're all set up with expecting a payment. So you can connect with me on one of those calls, the 30-minute, the 45-minute, or the 60-minute call, depending on how much time you think we'll need to talk. And we can talk about, what you're struggling or dealing with and how I can help you with that. Okay. And just so people know, if you want to book a reading, just pick the Oracle reading and we can book a reading. And then it's just depending on what type of reading you want, we'll structure it around that. Whether it's a Sacred Journey reading or it's a Spirit Guide reading or it's a How Do I Find Love reading. I have several readings that I do, but they're all the same price. So you just pick an Oracle card reading and we'll just determine what type of reading you want when we're talking. Okay, so all of those are there and available. All righty, Chamim. Good. All right. Awesome. And thank you, James, for letting Dewani go first. Really appreciate that. And I don't mind. I like the name James, actually. I do. So I don't know who I'm pulling. Chamim. I'm pulling for you. And both of those cards, they did not want to let go of one another. So interesting. So Message in a Bottle is the one that I picked up for you, which is interesting because the other card is the Fates in protection mode. So when you think about a message in a bottle and the Fates, they kind of in the same realm about a message coming to you. So this is for Chamim, okay? And then after Chamim is Zoe. And I'm just going to put a big sun. I put a big sun with like rays beside James's name so that so I know I still need to come back and get him at some point. Okay, Chamim, we're going to do the Message in a Bottle, number 15 in protection mode. Or sorry, 15, not in protection mode. 15, which is number 6. Look at that. Number 6. So Chamim, here is your message. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. When you believe, you will receive them. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm like, Chamim, where'd you go, Chamim? Chamim, come to me, Chamim. I just immediately felt that she was still there. Connection is back. Is it still really like bopping in and out, like it's being inconsistent? Or is it just Nikita's got an unfortunate connection now and I keep bopping in and out on and that's the other thing. I should have asked if Nikita was, look, we got 11.1, 1111, got all the ones. And in like 1 minute will be 1010. 11.1 thousand likes and 1010. There we go. Some numbers. Connection's good. Okay. So it's just something with Nikita's connection is bumping back and forth. And I'm good on Facebook. So something for Nikita. Okay. I haven't heard anything from Chamim. So she might have left when we had that blip before. And we actually have 11 followers too, 10:10 on the clock, 11.11. But I'm good now. Okay, so it's just an inconsistent. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I'm not seeing Chamim, so I'm gonna skip Chamim, even though there was definitely a message she needed to receive. But I'll just beside her, I'll write down that she had number 15, and also I can leave her the face too. All right. Okay, so instead of Chamim, it's going to be Zoe. Okay, Zoe, this is your card. Okay. And then after Zoe is Melinda. Okay, and then Aru and Amanda. Okay, and we've got a couple of Amandas. All right. Zoe, you get the deep knowing too. So we went through back to deep knowing, number 43. So 43, deep knowing. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. You have an amazing day too, Jenny. You're given this deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of the human experience. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses. The trick is to listen and then act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. So I'm going to read the protection message because when I read this the last time, I went into the relationship message, but I'll read you the prosperity message. So that's where we're looking at information, and we're got 44%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I pull a card every day. I haven't pulled my card for today because I did my routine a little bit different, but I will pull a card after I'm done the live session. And I use it to inform my day, to guide it sometimes, right? Like just to, sometimes I use it as, kind of a warning maybe, or just prior to the day, right? So I'm like, okay, so it's telling me to be kind of cautious in one way, then maybe I'll be a little more cautious. Sometimes I wait until the end of the day and I look at it and I'm like, oh, so that's how that showed up in my day, right? But let's read the prosperity message. So this is around income. It's around, hi Shams. I can definitely add you to the list, darling. Just throw in weird. So the prosperity message, so income, career, personal development, all of those areas. This is time when your hunches will pay large dividends if you listen to them. Take the risk and act. Within you, there is an oracular consciousness, so an oracle, a higher, deeper knowing that transcends the machinations of the smaller thinking mind. At the deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective. The energies of all thinkers and creators, all eventers and leaders, and all that you need in order to leap into success are available to tune into. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, genius awaits. So a good idea to maybe do some, oh yeah, definitely. Meditate, right? When you meditate and you go into that mindful moment and you meditate and you connect to spirit, that's how you get inspired, right? Inspired is in spirit. So in connection with your higher self, if that's what you want to look at it, in connection with the higher spirit, source, God, universe, like to the quantum field. If you want to think of us as, our energy as like ones and zeros and being able to connect to like the quantum field that way, then, so just doing meditation and just meditate on the subject of what you want the answers for, and you'll connect to your deep knowing. And then you just have to follow what those instructions are. And sometimes we hesitate to listen to ourselves, right? We always think somebody's going to know better, but nobody knows better for you than you, right? Hi, Casey. Sure. So after Zoe, Melinda. And Melinda, this is your card, Soulmates in Protection Mode. Okay, number 41. These little lovely birds. So because it's in protection, you get the lovely protection mode, my love. And Casey, I did write you on the list. We'll see if I get to you, because the list is still quite a bit, because I've been talking a lot, and then we had some connection issues. So the list is long, and I will eventually have to jump off regardless. I will have to go deal with some like absolute like physical needs, like the bathroom. So an important relationship, Melinda, an important relationship brings you to your knees. This is the kind of soulmate who comes with a powerful gift. Your patterns and all your old stories that don't serve your well-being enter into this dynamic so you can heal them. This person is called to a sacred task to help you learn, even if it seems uncomfortable, sticky, or even inconceivable. The question is not, why did he or she do this to me, but rather, what is the gift in this? Look into this mirror. You will only be changed for the better. Right? So that's a really good message for all of us, right? Sometimes, and that doesn't mean that the relationship is necessarily an over relationship, like that is going to end. Sometimes the message that is just, they're turning you towards healing, and you're going to turn them towards healing. You're going to heal at the same time together, and your relationship is just going to evolve so that you guys are healed together. It's when you heal separately, right? And if you're healing separately and they're not, right, then that could be a situation where you grow at different rates, and then you become out of alignment with one another, right? Yes. I'm writing that down. I'll have these little pops of things pop in my head, and then I keep forgetting. Are you able to take a picture and just share it? Or you can send it to me in messaging, Marla, and I could take it from there. Or even in the sacred group that you're in, if you want to share it there, if you think that it would be relevant to everyone in the sacred oracle group that you're in. If you want to share it there, we could all look at it. But otherwise, you could just send it through me through messaging. Yeah. So sometimes what ends up happening is we end up busting apart into different, and it's not bad. They've just allowed you, like I talk with my ex, like both of us, now he's healing and he's going to therapy and he's healing through his stuff. And we've talked, and it's a great little conversation now. I understand that was the purpose of that relationship. And if we had have maybe healed at the same time, I'm gonna pick up the card I threw on the floor. If we healed at the same time, then maybe we would have stayed together and we could have evolved into this new relationship. But the people that we couldn't stay long term in a relationship. We needed to heal. We definitely needed to heal. Okay, so Aru, are you there? And if ARU is not there, then it's Amanda Avila. I'll pull Amanda's. And after Amanda would have been Surav, but we went down on our TikTok. So I'm going to pull for her and send it on Instagram to give her that. And then after, so we had Amanda, we have two Amandas. I skipped past one. So we have Amanda, and then we have Marla, and then Amanda, and then Lori. Okay. So this one's for Amanda, this Amanda. Yes, you, Amanda. Amanda Philatral. And then after that will be, yeah. Yeah, I think that like there is solar storms that are going on right now. So I think that that's interfering with a bunch of different. Well, there's two Amandas back, like Amanda, Marla, Amanda. So you get both of them back to back. Oh, so and James, I love you, Nikita. Love you. I was thinking with James with James, and that he must like women who with the on the last name. There's that whole joke about if her name ends in she's crazy, or you're in for a wild ride or whatever. That's that whole joke. And Tanya, Amanda, we're just the more A's she has in the name, the more so Amanda's like just a little bit more than a Tanya. But that's okay. I love Amandas too. I have lots of friends that are Amandas that I pull into, and Melinda. Amanda's like, her husband can confirm. So the message for you is a message in a bottle. Okay. So this was the message that I had pulled originally for Shamim, but she left. So anyway, we're going to get to read the message in a bottle for, yeah. And sometimes we find that as we leave an our relationships, we're like, they weren't that bad. I mean, they still might not be your person, but they just, you weren't in the right space, right? You weren't in the right space. Diana, some more of us, Melinda, Amanda, Tanya, all of us at the end of our names. I'm collecting them, apparently. I love it. And that's a wonderful way to see it, James. That's amazing. So, essential meaning. I'm going to read the essential meaning of this card instead of just like jumping right into the general reading, but the essential reading, and they're absolutely crazy in the best ways. Communication, a sign, a Cledon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. So a Cledon is when you get that. If I was giving this message to Amanda and it resonates with you, it's like, whoa, I needed to hear that. That's what a Cledon is. It's just you are given a message that maybe is being given to somebody else, but really resonates with you, so that this is actually just God's way of getting that message to you, right? They're like, I'm going to get it to you one way or another. So sometimes like song lyrics, if you were like struggling with a decision or whatever, and then all of a sudden a song came on and it's like, she's the devil. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess maybe I shouldn't go towards that relationship. I'll just keep going this way, right? As an example. So anyway, let's read the rest of the message for Amanda. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them. When you believe, you will receive them. And when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens, they may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you, and the reply is favorable. Okay? So really, really good. I love you. That's beautiful. Melinda's crazy in a good way. That's why she stays for the whole live. I think we've definitely connected. We definitely connected. Yeah. Right? Listen to the signs. Just pay attention to them. Pay attention to them as they come up. Yeah. Hi, Pankoosh. How are you? Okay, so after Amanda is Marla, and then after Marla is Amanda number 2, and then Lori. Okay. So this is Amanda. No, sorry, this is Marla. Marla. Hi, Shams. All right, Marla. Come to the edge in protection mode. I know I want to look, I see the little icon and I'm like, it's so cute. Like the little, but there. Yeah, I'd have to, I pulled it up a little bit to see it. Hi, good to hear that you're fine. All right, let's see what Marla's message is. Number 36 in protection mode. (36) in protection mode. Okay. Fear is leading the way into places you don't need to go. Most of what you fear at the moment is an illusion stemming from an old belief that isn't even true. Now is a time for courage. You will not be lost at sea. You will not watch everyone else get what you want while you are left alone and unloved. Oh, the drama of it all. False evidence appearing real is hovering over you. Fear. That's what the acronym is for fear. And Shams, I wrote you down. Okay. She does. She's, I love her. I love her. I love her. And thank you so much for that, James. Appreciate that. The more you dwell on fear, the more it will become real. And it's true. What we focus on, we give energy and power, right? We focus on it, it becomes more. So if you focus on worry, you bring more things to worry about. If you focus on fear, you bring more things to be afraid of. If you focus on love, you bring more love. You focus on gratitude, you find more gratitude, more things to be grateful for. So try to focus on the things you want to see more of and eliminate those other things. Okay, so ask yourself, who in me is afraid, right? And love that part of you. That fear part of you is protection, right? That fear part of you is living in the past. And the past, maybe some stuff happened that was shitty, right? We just had a crappy experience. So that fearful little part of you is like, oh no, it's going to happen again, isn't it? Let's do everything we can to avoid that, okay? And sometimes we avoid the things that are healthy for us, or we stay stuck in that spot because our fear center says, well, this is familiar and familiar safe. And familiar can be toxic, but familiar toxic safe feels better than unfamiliar safe, because unfamiliar is terrifying. We're like, no, we don't want to go there. So when you have that part that comes up that you're afraid, it's just love that part. Just love that part. Be like, it's okay. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for trying to protect me. I appreciate that you're here trying to save me from what you think is making another mistake. But we're going to take a step forward. We're going to slowly take a step forward, right? Love you, Amanda. So the answer most likely is, or say, ask yourself, is this true and real right now? Like whatever the fear is that you're having. If you ground yourself into the present moment and you think about all of what's going on in your current, is it factual or is it your mind telling you that that's the potential, right? Is that the potential in, that's coming to you? And are you afraid of the possibility of that? Or is it real? Right? Like it's one thing if you've lost your job and currently you don't have a job, there's a fear of how am I going to make money because I don't have a source of income, right? And you can spend your time locked in that fear, worrying and fearing more like that you're not going to be okay. Or you can try to shift yourself out of that and say, thank you. I understand right now that that's a reality, that I don't have a source of income coming in. So I understand why you're afraid. That makes sense. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on what can I do to change my situation, or what can I focus on to change that, or what things can I do, right? What can I do? Go into a little bit more of action mode and remind yourself what is true, right? Then a lot of times the fear comes in that that the situation isn't going to change. So I've lost it and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, right? So I've lost my job. I'm never going to get another job. I'm going to lose everything's going to fall away from me. I'm going to lose everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. And we get locked in that kind of thinking, which is not helpful for us. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So the answer most likely is no, right? Most times it's our thoughts that are driving the train. It's not the reality of the situation. It's that fear in us, fear of history repeating itself as opposed to what the actual facts are. So give yourself a hug. It's okay to be scared. Courage must be summoned. In spite of your fear, even when you're not feeling confident, spirit will always catch you. So it's a really good message from Marla. Yep. Toxic familiar or safe unfamiliar. Nothing can change the things around us if you are the same. Yeah, exactly. Because we will keep, when they talk about us being energy, and that energy we align or we magnetize or we connect with the same energy. So if my energy is telling me that I'm not good enough, then I'm going to find somebody out there that's going to prove to me that I'm not good enough. And they'll prove it in different ways, right? For some of us that say, why do I always end up with a guy that's cheating, right? And it might be just that you are aligning yourself to that because you don't feel like you're good enough, or because you're not loyal to yourself. If you're not loyal to yourself, you might get more people to show you that you're not loyal. So you're going to find people that are unloyal in your world. Yeah, I like that too. Iskra, you are not that far off actually, because I just did Marla. So I'm on second Amanda. And then after second Amanda is Lori and then you. Okay. Right. We keep putting ourselves in the same situations that we were in, though slightly different, because we grow and evolve. Even if we grow and evolve a little bit, that situational change. So if you look at your relationships, right? If you look at the relationships in your life, do they all look similar? Is it always like, oh, I keep getting the same kind of guy? Well, that's because you're the same. You're very similar, right? You might have changed a little bit here and there, but you stay within that. You go and look for it, right? Exactly. You want to be, I am good enough. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am whatever. And the I am is a powerful statement, right? And most of us, we don't even know why we're not consciously aware of how we think about ourselves on the inside, because those things were supplanted in our brains when we were like babies and 1-year-old and 2-year-old, and in the years when we don't actually lay down memories the same way, and that affected our core belief system, right? So if you were crying as a baby and your parents didn't come and answer you, they let you cry yourself to sleep, you're going to feel that people aren't going to respond to your requests, right? You're asking for help as a baby, you're crying out saying, I need something. And when the parent doesn't come to you, you're like, nobody hears me. Nobody comes to me when I need something. So then you believe that you have to do everything on your own, right? That's how we get a lot of people that have avoidant attachment, right? They have that avoidant attachment because they feel like nobody's going to answer them anyway. So they're just a lone wolf. So for Amanda Avila, it's time to breathe. Okay. And then after Amanda is Lori, and then Iskra, and then Jazz, if Jazz is still here, but I haven't seen Jazz come up for a while. So we might skip from there, but we're going to go through everybody's names really quickly, because as we go along and get longer into the show, people don't stick around for the whole time. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, exactly. I had that same thing. It took a long time for me to think that, the cornerstone of a relationship was how much sex was in the relationship. So I would be always open to that. It wouldn't matter. I never even considered if in my mind, if I really wanted or if I felt open to it. It was just, I felt that I had to be, because if I wasn't open for it all the time, they'd find it from someone else. They just go get it from someone else. So I had to give it up, or else they go get it elsewhere. That was kind of that whole, broken mentality that I had. So yeah. And it's a big job. It's a big task working through that. And I can share some stuff, but you and I are going to connect, and then we'll see what I don't share in our little chat. And good morning, Veronica. Good morning. Breathe is number 29. And this is for Amanda Avila. Number 29. So patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course, meditate, and trust. I feel like we have two, James. You should connect with me. Like I said, I always give a first phone call for free, because that's an opportunity for you to speak to me, to make sure that I feel safe for you, right? When we're dealing with trauma and mental health, you need to feel safe with the person that you're working with more than anything, because you're working with a lot of scary things, with a lot of challenging things, vulnerable things. Right. And if you have to share any of the stuff that's happened to you, you want to trust that the person that you're sharing with is capable of handling the information and all of that stuff. Yeah, it did. It did. It changed. Cute. I mean, it's cute. All right. So back to Amanda. We got to breathe. Okay. Breathing is good. Meditating is good. Humans cannot exist without drawing a breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body and your being and your very essence, right? Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear, right? So one of the things that we can do for ourselves that is the most beneficial is honor our nervous system and be able to soothe ourselves. So it's really important to soothe ourselves, right? Because when your nervous system is in fight or flight or freeze or disassociate, or even in people pleasing fawn stuff, those states, you're more than likely, your body's not functioning right. So your immune system's not functioning correctly. Your inflammation is up. So that's why people who stay in chronic states of stress or have unresolved trauma, and they stay in those bad spaces emotionally with their nervous system always in fight or flight or freeze or disassociate, they end up, hi Mary, they end up in autoimmune disorders. Sorry, they end up bringing forward autoimmune disorders and having all kinds of issues. So you want to, my brain is just like, you want to be able to soothe your nervous system. You want to be able to bring it back into regulation, because when your nervous system is in rest and digest, then you're more likely to respond to situations rather than react, because your nervous system is out of alignment, right? It's not in that safe and secure place. It's in the, oh my God place, right? It's like, I'm going to fight. I'm ready to fight, or I'm ready to run, or I'm ready to shut down, or I'm ready to just like, right? So, or I'm just going to give up my needs to make sure that your needs are met. So I'm just going to people please to the extraordinaire. So this is telling us to just, to meditate, to breathe, to come back to ourselves. And you're so welcome, Mary. Love to you, friend. Okay. Lori, are you still there? Lori, Lorie. And if Lori's not there, then we're going to move to Iskra. And if Iskra's not there, hi, Lori. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. We're coming to you. We're getting there. Look at when people get tired and then they leave, we get a free space. Ooh, we got flexible in the upright position for Lori. So something's asking you to be flexible. And the card is number 19, which would also be number 10. 10 is also an ending and a beginning because it's the first double. And when you add them together, it becomes a 1. And 1 is the number that traditionally marks a beginning. Ah, the hiccup. Hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. Aha, perfect. Okay, back to the show. So this is for you, Lori. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure, like a building, would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be right now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Okay. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So sometimes we get stuck in our belief system and we think our belief system is the only thing that's correct. And we never think about, well, where did I get my beliefs from? Well, if you got your beliefs from your parents and your parents didn't question where they got their beliefs from and they got their beliefs, hi, angel wings, 777. I like 777s for angel numbers, beautiful number. But if they didn't question their belief system and you're not questioning your belief system and the person before them didn't, their parents didn't question their belief system, now how outdated are your beliefs? Right. And if we just think about, the transitions between like interracial relationships or, gay or lesbian relationships, or we look at now with gender, with, the whole gender stuff like that, how it's drastically changed in the last, it's drastically changed what is normal in the last, 60 years or whatever. What's happening, Marla? Is something happening over there? Is it's just one of those days where I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but I seem to be okay on TikTok right now. It seems to be okay. So you want to remain flexible. Okay. You want to remain, flexible in the situation, right? And be open-minded to the fact that you don't know everything. None of us do. They only know 2% of what our DNA does. And they think that they know everything about the human being and what we're capable of. Well, I don't think they have an idea at all. If 98% is considered to be junk, what in the world has ever been, what in our earth has ever considered just completely junk? We could say mosquitoes, but that's, maybe some of us would say spiders, but let's just say spiders eat a lot of other bugs. So we probably want to keep that ecosystem in play, even though spiders can be terrifying for some of us. So being flexible is a good point, right? When we should be flexible, but at the same time, if you know something inherently, that's your belief system, right? Like, if I believe that there's a higher power, that if I believe that there's source, that there's this higher power there, and somebody comes around and says, no, that's stupid, that's not right. Well, I'm going to stand firm in my beliefs. They can have their belief systems and that's okay for them. You do you, boo. I'm just going to do me. And for me, I have that belief, and that's a belief that I'm not willing to give up. So that's what the card is asking you to do, is hold strong to the beliefs that are important to you, that you value. If it's something, that's something that, you're not even sure why you believe that, look at it. Does it help you? Does it benefit you in today? And just be open-minded to maybe learning something new from someone else so that you can remain that flexible, and other people will be flexible too with you. So yeah, that kind of concept. All right. Iskra. This is for you. That's okay, Michelle. Never have to apologize if you have to leave for your son, for sure. Whoop, love reading? Interesting. I'll tell you what card fell out after. If it's not the card that I pull. If it's the card that I pull, I'll tell you. No, it wasn't. So originally I pulled, the card that flopped was higher power, but the card that I pulled out is yin. Okay, so yin is the divine feminine energy, whereas yang is the divine masculine energy. So the divine masculine is actually supposed to be the energy of divine masculine is the go-getter. It's that active action of pursue, go get it, go, take, or get. And it's an interesting dynamic because the divine masculine is also the give energy, right? Where if you think about the woman is receiving the male is giving from himself. So women energy is receptive, male energy is giving, right? We don't tend to operate in those things. And this isn't about a man is supposed to be the giver and the female is supposed to be the taker. We both should be operating through both of those things at different times where we're both give and take in relationships, right? There has to be that mutual back and forth. But when we're talking about the energy, the male energy is the give energy, whereas the female is the take energy. So when we're looking at a school dance, right, the boy going over and asking the girl to dance, he's asking and she's actually receiving consciously. It's not about just him come over and take what he wants. It's she's allowing that to happen. There's that making a decision. So that's the concept of yin energy. So let's see what it says as a relationship message. It's number 2. So let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. So a really good message there. Like, I think that's a beautiful message. And thank you. It's interesting because of the shutdowns with the internet. Every time it pauses, I'm like, are people talking? And then it's very quiet here because I live in a small hamlet or village or community. It's a very small community. And because I'm here alone and my dog's lying down in front of the TV, his TV, which is the big patio door, so you can watch all the stuff going by, see all the squirrels and birds and stuff like that. But because it's so quiet, and then when things pause, it's like, oh, it feels weirdly like I'm in a vacuum. Very, very vacuum. All right. So after Iskra, Nikita, I think Nikita had to leave. And Angel Wings, I can put you on the list. We've definitely had some people leave, so we're going to scooch down quicker, I'm sure. So I'm looking for Nikita, Tracy, Stephen, Mel, Skara. I've not seen any of those names come up in the last little bit. So if any one of you can come up, and if I see any of them, great. If not, then we're going to go to Shams, and I know Shams is there. Hi, Mel. Perfect. So Mel, because you're the first one to respond, you get it. And Zara, oh wait, did I skip Zara? No, Zara, you're coming. You're not far. You're not far, Zara. Not far. Okay. So Mel, this one's for you. And then Shams, and then Zara. Okay. That's okay. Understandable. I've been told I have a very calming voice, so maybe it was like I should do some bedtime readings. Once upon a time, there was a very sleepy boy, and he needed to have a nap. Right? I'm going to do bedtime stories. That's it. I actually do voice work. I've been working on voice work, but I should do bedtime stories. And I'll read bedtime stories. He changed it. It's cool, huh? So Mel, yours is thinker in protection mode. This is a really good one for us all too. So number 44, in protection mode. You might be suffering from analysis paralysis. Thinking has its place, but trying to figure everything out logically is not going to work right now. Your conclusions will likely be faulty, and you may act upon false assumptions that will get you into a jam. Give your mind a rest. Do something creative, exercise, or meditate. Soon you'll come to your senses, and an aha moment will bring new clarity. So whatever the question that you're asking about or whatever you want clarity in, rather than like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like getting locked up in that thought process, right? That like, what am I going to do? How am I going to manage this? What am I going to do? I don't know what to do in this situation, right? And we get stuck in that. That's the analysis paralysis that they're talking about, or like worry wart, right? Like, or just overthinking. So there's different ways that you can work with overthinking. And one of the things that I really like to do with what I did to work on my overthinking was, I did a stop thought technique. Okay. So for me, it was this part of it, but there's more to it. I just never did the other part of it. For me, and it's funny. This is funny. I came up with this technique on my own. And then later on in educating myself so that I could provide more to the people that I'm helping, because I wanted to go into helping people with trauma and mental health. So then I started studying things like Gabor Mate's compassionate inquiry, Stephen Porges, polyvagal, Peter Levine's somatic experiencing, like all of these. So I started studying that stuff. And through the process, found this thing called the thought stopping technique, which is different from what I did, but there's so much similarities that it's really the same technique. So when you are overthinking, as soon as you catch yourself, just see a red stop sign pop up in your mind, just a big stop. And when you picture that stop sign, then the next thing that you're going to do is ground into your body. You're going to slow down your breathing. Right? So you're going to become present into this moment. And you can even add in one of the things that I like for a quick little technique for grounding into the present moment is rubbing your thumb on your fingers, right? Feel the sensation of touch, feel your fingerprints, and then you can just repeat in your mind, where am I here? What time is it? Now. Where am I here? What time is it? Now. And you bring yourself into the present moment. Right? And that's the only time that you can affect change anyway. The rest of the time, we're just wasting our energy being out of alignment with the here and now. So that can be a really big help. The most likes that I've ever had on one of my lives was 32.2 thousand. Yep. And just bring yourself into your body, breathe, right? The slowing, exactly. Connect to the present moment. Right. And a lot of times the thoughts that are going on in our head, that's just that worried part of us, that fearful part of us that thinks that by thinking about it, that it can stop it from happening. Or if we worry about it, that maybe we'll figure something out that'll change, but we don't. We need to drop ourselves into a solution based, right? So if you wanted to journal down about it and you wanted to write down, let's say you don't have a job and you're worrying about how are you going to pay things. Well, then if you go into solution based, well, the solution to your situation is getting a job or making money or finding money or borrowing money, right? Like there's only so many ways that you're going to bring money into your life. So how can you find a job? Well, you can go and apply for jobs. What types of jobs can you apply? When you change your mind into that type of a thinking pattern where it's actually, I'm going to write down what my problem is, and then I'm going to start going through what my solutions are, that changes things from being in that just worry with no solution in mind. It's just, you're just using energy for that. So that's a couple of choices for that. So good morning, Luke. I saw you pop in there and say hello. Good morning, Luke, and good morning, DT. How are you guys doing? All right. And hi, John. I see that you came on. Okay, so after Mel is Shams, and then after Shams is Zara. I wrote Shams down twice, so that makes that easier. I don't know why. And then after that, Angel. Hi, John. How are you? Good morning. All right. So Shams, this is for you, dear. And for you, Luke, definitely. I'll put you on the list. I came on the weekend, like on Saturday and Sunday. I just went on. I'm supposed to not work on the weekend, but I did. You're so welcome, Mel. And if you ever want to work or you want to work together or you want just a more in-depth reading, connect with me and I will more than certainly help you out. Sounds good, baby. All right. So for Shams, peace in protection mode and have a wonderful day. I've been great, John. I've been great. I love doing this. I just need to figure out a way to create more income for me so I can pay my rent. But I love this. I love doing. I could do this all day long. If, you know, God found a way to provide for me, I would do this for free and I'd never ask anybody for a dime. I would just go around and help people heal their trauma and mental health. I'm just like, hi, what can I do for you? How can I help you? What can I show you? How can I teach you? What can, right? Like, let me teach you how to soothe. Breathe with me. Yeah, but I am doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you, John. So for Shams, peace and protection mode. And I do right now I have a 3-month package that if you do it in a group format is $350 Canadian. So if you're in America, I think it's around $280, $290. If you're in the UK, it would probably be like $250, right? Like it's for 3 months worth of work where we meet in group sessions. There's a group, you know, that's on Facebook. So you have access to the recordings, which will talk about trauma. We talk about mental health. This one was amazing. So one of the last session that I had, the card that came up for us from the tarot was the Imam Kali, which the Imam Kali talks about root and safety and, you know, that home, our home base, right? And where do we, if we don't, and it was talking about creating a safe space. So it was an amazing card to have come up in the trauma thing or in our sacred journey, because it gave me the opportunity to talk to them about how do you create a safe space within your home or within your body. So that was how, on my link or on my, on my TikTok, there we go. There's I'm on so many different sites. Perfect. I will definitely add you to that. So Luke, if you go to my TikTok on the profile, there's a Calendly link there. If you want, just pick a clarity call and we'll talk and then I can get you involved in that program, because it is available there that you could just select Sacred Journey Oracle package. And the one is an individual package at $697 for the 3 months. And it would just be you and me together, nobody else. So it's just us. It's more of an intimate package, right? And then the group program is $350. So it's half the price of what the individual package was, but you get part of a group and you get the recording saved. So there's a little bit of a benefit of the group. Plus, you know, when you're working in a group, sometimes somebody will say something and you'll be like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Or you get that identification of, oh, I'm not the only one. Somebody else has experienced that too. So there's a benefit to the group, but again, there's that intimate one-on-one connection where it's just you and me. And so if you, on my TikTok, I have my Calendly link there, just copy that into a page, and then you can pick whichever one you want, whether it's just a call with me to discuss beforehand. You can pick either the clarity, the delve deep, or a freebie call. I think there's a few of them there. To talk to me for free, or you can just pay for one of the packages and we'll set that up. The Oracle reading is just a standalone 1 hour reading, you and me, and whatever type of reading you want, for 45 Canadian. And then the other ones are, like I said, the group programs $350 and the individual $697. And that's only until the end of December in 2023. I mean, I have a person who's in the group program and she's already told me, like, she's just mad at me for how little I'm charging for it. So like, it's ridiculous, the amount of stuff you're going to get for the price that you're going to get. Like, I remember when I went for my therapy was $200 per session. I had benefits for $600 of it from my work. And that $600 goes really fast. And I was going to to see my therapist twice a week. So then it becomes $100 a session. Like they do the copay, right? So it's $100 a session for 6 sessions. And then after that, it was $200 a session. So $400 a week. And that's not including like group programming or any of the other stuff that I was doing. So $350 is a steal. It's a steal, but it's because I do want to be able to get out there for people that are not necessarily like, there's programs out there for people that could go and spend, like I used to work at an inpatient unit for doing what I do here, but in an inpatient basis. And they would pay to go to that program for 6 weeks is $35,000 program. And you can get some that are a little cheaper and some that are definitely way more expensive. It's expensive, right? So I just I don't think that therapy is something, or that healing should be something that's only for the rich, right? Healing has to be for everybody. So that's why I have these programs that are available that are at a much lower price. Because I want to make sure that people that can't afford it still have an opportunity to heal. But at the same time, I can't go with like zero money. I did Oracle school with Colette. I did. And that's like this deck of cards is Colette's. I have 3 of her decks of cards. Just love her. So many need it. Awesome. Thanks, John. Bye. Hi, Tinker. Love it. Okay. Shams. I hope you stuck around, my friend. Sitting here on his card for a little bit. Number 23, in protection mode. Peace. So what does peace tell us when it's in protection message? Now is a time for calmness and well-being in spite of temporary conditions. Even if there are dissonant notes in the music of your life, all that means is you must go within and fine-tune the extraordinary instrument that you are. Oh, I like that. Yeah, and you know what? I actually do that, James, and I love that. Just very, very, very sweet. So what I did with my group program, so I had a couple of people that had paid for the group program. So then I ended up offering admission for people that were consistent followers of mine that I knew were in like on pensions or, were not in a good place, that they want to work with me, but there's no way that they can afford it. Right. Like the one lady, she was very upfront that she gets like $834 a month to survive on. And it's like, well, I can't ask you for more than what you can give. So I just gave them admission into the program. I gifted it as a philanthropic thing. And I will do that. Like if you are somebody that has zero money like that, or is in like, and you talk to me and you're open about that, then I will maybe do a trade-off with a testimonial, right? Like if you do a video testimonial for me, I'll do it for you, right? There's that trade-off, but it's all about how much, if you're willing to do the work, right? You have to be willing to put in the work and put in the effort. And for some of us, we have to put money on the line for us to actually say, I'm going to give the work. Because a lot of times when we get something for free, we don't value it, right? We don't validate it. We don't say to ourselves, if you've taken a free course, you might be like, oh, I don't have to actually go to class. It was free. Yeah, definitely. Oh, love to you, friend. Yeah, and it is. It's about energy exchange. So I'm giving up energy, so I need to get energy back. And that's why when I'm doing TikTok, I'm always like, one of the things that you can do is give likes, because likes expands the reach of the video. So what you're getting me is a bigger audience. So you're sharing your energy by tapping the screen and giving likes. Or you could give gifts. If you have the ability to give gifts through TikTok, then you're gifting in exchange for a card. Right. So that's the energy exchange that I get on TikTok. On Facebook, I have some just loyal followers that have been following me for a long time, that I like to reach through that format. And just that kind of thing. So let's finish Shem's message, because we are pretty close to having that one. So you want to find harmony within yourself and don't look to the outer world to provide certainty. The one thing that we can be certain of is ourselves and how we're going to navigate through our experiences, especially when you know your nervous system and you know how to balance it out, right? So when I got ghosted, it was really upsetting because it targeted me and my wound of not being good enough and abandonment issues and all of those things that I acquired. And when you heal, it's not that things never bother you. You don't become indestructible. You don't become like, like a stone figure where you no longer have emotions. My son actually asked me, like, He's like, well, I thought you were healed. So why, like, I don't understand why it's bothering you. And it's like, well, I still have emotions. I still have a heart. I still have a spirit that gets hurt by people's actions. But the difference is how I navigate out of that experience. And we learn these skills and techniques on how to soothe our nervous system and balance our emotions, right? So if I, in that sense, I actually took and I put 528 hertz frequency music on, which is the love frequency. And I put the music on. I went into basically meditating. I put my hands on my chest like this to give myself a little hug. And I told myself, you can express any emotions that you want. It's okay to be hurt that someone you cared about just vanished. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to express whatever emotions that you want. So I allowed myself that freedom to just express. And then after that, I turned and flipped it and I went, okay, you've expressed your emotions. You've let out your sadness, whatever. Now, what can we do to change that? Well, the biggest thing that I can do for myself is love myself. Love myself, especially when I feel like somebody else didn't, who said they did, right? They told me they loved me and then they ghosted me. Like, oh my God, right? So then I just sat there with my hands on my chest, breathing into that space, listening to the love frequency, saying to myself over and over again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Right. And then work through it that way. So that's a good hint, right? So this too shall pass. And once again, your life will be filled with beautiful music. So good message for you, Shams. And if you missed that message, because I did take my time, my sweet time going through it all, connect with me on Facebook and I will reiterate what your message was. Okay, dear. Okay. Now we have Zara and then Angel. Okay. So Zara and James. We have James on the list. We can't forget James. James has a sunshine beside his face. Beside his name, I mean, James has a sunshine because he's been so sweet in allowing other people to get their cards first. All right. Awesome, Shams. And you can always connect with me, my dear. You're supposed to connect with me. We're supposed to have a little discussion because maybe you want to have just a regular reading or maybe you want to delve deeper and heal stuff. But you should connect with me and we will see how we should work together, what we can do together. Okay. I know. Don't forget James. Can't forget James. Never. Zara. Life happens for sure. All right. I know. That's all we all can do is try, right? No, and the only reason with Linktree is because when you use Linktree, sometimes people, like if you get too many links, then people are like, like I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know where I'm headed, right? So exactly. Time will connect when the time is right. Exactly. Always in divine timing, always. Right. So some people, like if you have too many links in Linktree, then people come in and be like, oh, I was looking for Sacred Oracle Journey. And like, what's this thing? And what's that thing? I've done that where I've come in and then I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I'm looking. I can't even find it. I don't know where it is. And so I've only hesitated with it for that reason, but my eye is going again. It's just like diggity. Zara, it's a time for a nap, my friend. All right. Time for a nap. Number 24. Okay. So this is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goal, your lists, and your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement now. Right? So sometimes we get into like go, task. And when I was the director of nursing, I was constantly working with my staff to not be task oriented, because when we're task oriented, we miss being in the present moment and connecting with our clients. Right? So if I'm doing my proper bedside nursing and I'm being in the moment with the patient, then I'm going to be more aware of the physical, the emotional and spiritual, what the patient's going through, right? And then you get more in tune with your intuition as well. And you're in the moment with the patient. So you're going to be able to hear them when they're asking for things or needing things, and you're actually going to be listening to them from a open stance. Right? When we're task oriented, we're not really in the moment. We're in the, what is the task that I'm doing, and the next task that I have to do, and the next task and the next task. And when you're nursing, it's understandable. There's a laundry list of things to do for all of us. There's a laundry list of things to do, right? That's why, because it wants you to get comfortable with being by yourself, with yourself, because you will be with yourself for 100% of your life. So that should be your best friend. This should be the space that you're the most comfortable being, is in here. And if you're not, then the universe is asking you to figure out why, and to get to that part where you're like, oh my God, I love myself and I love this space that I'm in. And I'm okay with that. I know how to make myself happy. I know how to make myself. And the other part, there was one who was talking about, like, with breathing or meditating or being creative, right? A big part of opening yourself to creativity is being in a joy state of mind. So when I sing karaoke and dance, right? So I'm like singing and dancing to my karaoke. All of a sudden I'll be singing. I'll be like, oh, I should do a post on that. I just all of a sudden get like this spark of creativity, right? Because we want to be in that state as opposed to just in the go, 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 future orientated state, right? And that's why it's really because you need to learn to be comfortable with yourself. So it's going to keep putting you in that state until you learn the lesson that you need to learn, which is that it's okay to be with you. You have to be okay with this. You have to be okay with this. Okay. My coffee is so not cold. I mean, so not warm. It's so cold. It's not warm. It's just not warm at all. All right. So is Angel Wings still there? Angel Wings 777. And if not, then we'll go to Luke. Okay. Hi. Perfect. Angel and then Luke. And I think after, 1111, we got 1010. Now we got 1111. Woo, woo, woo. 1111. You're so welcome. I know. And people were saying, those cup warmers, that I need one on my desk so that I can just leave my cup on there for my tea or coffee or whatever warm drink I have. Oh, Angel Wings. Fork in the road. Let's see where we're off to. Yes. Look up the meaning for that then, Luke. Look up what 1111 means in angel numbers, because it's giving you guidance. And if you're thinking something, let's say you're really thinking about something, and then you look at the clock and see 1111 or 666 or whatever, right? If you're thinking something and you look, and at that moment you catch the time, look at what the numbers mean, and then think about what you were thinking about and see how it relates to one another. Sometimes it can be just letting you know that you are on the right path, that you're headed in the right direction. Yeah. And it's just a sign, right? When you think about that, we're energy, it's the way for us to just receive messages through that energetic alignment with things. So, fork in the road for Angel Wings. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. Right? So, and it's true. Like we always think that we're going to choose the wrong way, but we don't, because even if we think, you know, oh, I've chosen right, you probably needed to learn that lesson or be aligned with that person or that experience for your growth. Right. And so it seems like it was the wrong decision because the wrong decision ended up being like a bad situation, or it ended up not turning into like, you know, a rose garden. It ended up being more of the thorns. Right. But it's okay because we need the thorns to grow sometimes. Right. So, yeah. Right. But know that you're going to, whatever decision you make, it's going to be the right decision for you, and you're going to be okay. Right. You're going to be okay as you go through it. So yeah, making sure it didn't skip by. Yeah. So I'm not sure if there's an area in particular that you're feeling like you're a candle in the wind or whatnot, but this is a good moment. This is a good question. This is a good one to keep in your thing. Who do I need to become, and what do I need to believe in order to live the life that you want? Right? Because we are changeable. We're not stuck. Right? We're not stuck as we are. Our personality is actually changeable. Like we have certain things about us that, you know, we like or we want to keep. But, you know, like if I could say to myself that I have, my personality can be like I have some laziness in my personality, right? But it could be just I just didn't, you know, I didn't learn the importance of routines, right? Because I grew up in a home that was chaotic. Hi, Connie and Sunshine. All right, so next card is for Luke, and then James. James, I'm not forgetting you, James. I'm so sorry that I should have done you sooner, actually. All righty, Luke. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, Luke. Luke, I don't know if that, but Luke. Oh, I didn't even see your question before I pulled this. That's unfortunate about that. Yeah, I would love to know more about that situation to be able to really talk to it. I pulled the not for you card in protection mode, Luke, and not sure, but you may need to hear the message from this, but I don't think it really has to do with that question with Andrea, but we can see. Okay. So don't chase after what flees you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There is nothing romantic about what is unavailable, no prize given for torturing yourself, and nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags that have been waving since you began your pursuit. Now is the time to walk away. There are other goals, other loves, other games, other successes waiting for you. The way out of obsessing is radical acceptance and surrender. Spirit only wants the best for you. This is a sign that you have something much better waiting for you. Trust. So I'm not sure if that was, thanks, James. So yeah, I'm not sure if that really resonates with you, Luke, because I don't think that it's in the area of the question that you were asking about. They can't find the problem. Are you able, like, I know this might sound weird, but you could get, you can make it for your cousin. Was it cousin? Whoops. I just threw them. I just threw the cards again. Let me pick up the ones that fell down there. I actually have to scooch. I got to scooch down. I threw them real far. Oh, we want to make sure we don't lose any. Whoosh. So 2 things I would suggest. You can do a, hello. You could do, there's a tea, clove, ginger, and cinnamon. Okay. So you put a cinnamon stick, you put say a chunk of, ginger, a square of ginger like that in the thing, and then some cloves, like 6 or 8 cloves in a pot of water, boil it down like to get it nice, and that's a really good tea for your lungs and for that area. Another thing is pine needle tea, because pine needle tea is really good for cleansing as well, which are the only things that I can really offer without actually speaking to her. But I'm sure if she's being followed by doctors and physicians and nurses, that this one little nurse who considers herself to be more retired from nursing than anything, I doubt that I'm going to, diagnose her in any way, because I'm not able to. I'm a nurse. We don't diagnose people. But that would be some things that I would suggest would help her with her condition. Hopefully, I hope that they find what is wrong. Yeah, even that, when I was looking at, okay, so normally I answer yes or no questions specifically with my pendulum, but that's the ball of my pendulum, and the chain, this little piece here, it's stripped, so it won't close for me, unfortunately. I broke it. So because I broke the pendulum, and I'm not even sure why it won't. Like it seems to connect when I don't have the ball. So yeah, and until I fix my pendulum, because in this pendulum, it really makes me sad, because this pendulum, I worked really well with it. I mean, I could try it without the gold stone and just be like, can you show me what yes is? See, it still kind of works. Can you show me so it still works. Can you show me what's no? So no's back and forth. So we could say, can you tell me, or can you answer a question for me about Andrea? Are they going to figure out what's wrong with Andrea? Is Andrea going to be okay? That's a very positive sign for you, Luke. Even without the gold stone on the end of it, the weight of this, it still worked. And for user, I don't know what your name is besides user. If you want, I can pull you a card in the area of relationships, right? So get her to do the clove tea. So clove, ginger, and cinnamon. Okay, clove, ginger, and cinnamon tea. And also additionally a pine needle tea. Okay, a pine needle tea would not be a bad idea. So you just harvest pine needles, especially from a tree that has not been sprayed, right? Because if it's been sprayed with, you don't want any pesticides or anything like that. So in your home, or if like of a wooded area and you know what a pine tree looks like, you could go and harvest fresh pine trees. Like you could harvest fresh pine needles and make a tea with that. Okay. So after Luke, who's next? Connie? I'll pull a card for you, Connie. Okay. I know, I feel like 11:23 at 11:30, 2.5 hours in, and James is there. James is going to get to close the show. That's what James is going to get to do. Very happy about this. All right. So Connie, And for user, I was going to say Jessica. Oh, Siobhan. Jessica Siobhan. All right. So, and I mean, I have, my niece is Siobhan spelled like that. That's the Gaelic way to spell Siobhan. But we always use like Sio Bahan. The best for last. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of weird pronouncings. They probably like Shio Bahan or Sio, Sio, or whatever. James is a closer. Exactly. So for Connie, happy number 26. So you were asking about Christmas. I think that you're going to end up having a good Christmas. So, but listen to the message of this card. Listen to the message of the card. Facing the unknown is the only, no, sorry, I went to 36. That did not make sense. I was like, that sounds weird. Happy. Here we go, Connie. The best for last. Your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So it's a very positive message, right? A very positive message for you about a time that's happy. But we do have the ability to choose happiness, right? Some days we can get up and we just choose to be happy today, choose to look on the bright side of things, and choose to just let go of the things that aren't working or aren't serving us, right? So that's a great message for you, Connie. And now Siobhan, we'll do Siobhan, and then James. And James will close out the show right around 11:30, 2.5 mark. I think I went a little longer than I definitely should have. I have people who will like be like, well, they will tease me about the fact that I did not put my boundaries. I did not. All right. Spread them out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just moving them to the side so that I can fan the cards out. So I fan the cards out and then I feel the energy of where haven't got. So this one's for Siobhan. This one. Woohoo. So Siobhan, Jessica Siobhan, a change in the wind, number 12. Okay. 12 becomes 3. So there's another one of our beautiful divine numbers. A change in the wind. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change, to want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The only thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. So that's a really good message, right? For all of us to actually take into consideration, right? So life isn't black and white. It's varying shades of gray. And some of us, when we go through traumatic home environments, we do look at life as black and white. And it's a cognitive distortion or an unhelpful coping mechanism, right? It made sense for me as a child to think that if someone was to I could give a few really dark ones. But let's say if my dad was yelling, then it would be understandable that I would expect from that yelling that there's going to be violence, that I'm going to get a spanking or a beating, right? So black and white thinking worked for me as a child. Dad's yelling. The black and white part of it is dad's going to hit. So I'm going to get back a few steps, or it would make me alter into like people pleasing. I'm sorry. What can I do to make it better? How can I do? Right. So black and white thinking makes sense when you're a kid in those situations. But when we become adults and we think in black and white, things aren't black and white. Nothing is really black and white, right? There's all kinds of shades of gray. So understanding that and working through that is a really, really important thing. Yeah. And if you ever want, my link for my Calendly is in my TikTok. You can always get on a call with me. The first call is always free. And you can pick a 30-minute, you can pick a 60 or 45 or 60-minute call, and we can have a conversation about, maybe how I can help you now, but also how could I help you going forward if you wanted to work on things, and the different things that I have available. But I like to have the call because I like to know that we can work together because, right now it might seem like we align really well, but what if I start talking to you and like, oh, I'm not into all of that, or yeah, that just doesn't fit with me. You might feel like that in a conversation that we just don't work. I might get in a conversation and be like, oh, I don't know if I can really help her. she's not at that spot yet. I don't know. I just like to say that there's a possibility. I would probably work with you though. I want to help people, so I'll work with you. All right, Luke. No, James. I don't know why I went back to Luke. This is for James, our lovely, lovely James, who is so very sweet in allowing people to take his position. So because he decided he was going to stick around for the show, so he let people go a little sooner. Luke, I'll take it again. Give me another card. Tell me what it is. Yeah, I don't know what's in your life that's not for you, Luke, but I feel like we brought a not for you up before. We had that kind of something is, you're maybe going through a little bit of a transition stage and stuff, but definitely there's something in your life that you're holding on to dearly that's not really for you, but you're afraid to let it go. Yeah. Okay. For James, serendipity, but not in protection mode like it was earlier. So let's see what serendipity is when it's not in protection mode. Oh, Willie. Do you want to just do this one here then, Willie? We can just ask. Can you tell if Nicole is going to meet Willie on Christmas Eve? Is this meeting going to be a really good meeting? Well, according to the pendulum, Willie, you and Nicole are going to meet, and it's going to be a pretty good meeting. I mean, it's swinging pretty good speed. Okay, so we'll just leave that. Now back to James. Serendipity. Number 18, so number 9 as well. Okay. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. In relationships, because James is the closer, James can have all three messages because it might be valid for somebody else. In relationships, Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey, someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands. Pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. So when we're talking about a meeting that's out of Spirit's hands, that would be like you joined a Facebook group and met that person through the Facebook group, and some like just weird, right? It'd be one of those weird situations. Oh, hi, James. Welcome on that side. TikTok messed up. James popped up over here. Boop, boop. Perfect. Okay, so I will look more towards this screen since that's the one you're on instead of this screen, because that'll make more sense. Okay, so for relationships, somebody you've either met them or they're on their way to you that is going to have an important role within your life. For prosperity, you are in the right place at the right time. Be grateful, for the stars are aligned in your favor and fortune is smiling on you. Victory and success are yours. The choices you have made in the past have prepared you for the opportunities now before you. This is your lucky moment. The timing is perfect. That's what Melinda says, that it was me, that I was the person that came into your life at the right time. It was meant to be. We were meant to connect. We were meant to have a conversation. So maybe look me up and we can connect in a call and see how we can't work together, or we can't figure things out. So I love that. But definitely know on TikTok that my link is there. On Facebook, it's on my profile. You can find my Calendly link. So for anyone that wants to book a call with me, you can book a call. We can see how we can work together, or you can even book a Oracle tarot reading. I have various tarot and Oracle card readings that I do, but they're all just under the Oracle reading on my Calendly link. Also the Sacred Journey in individual, or the Sacred Journey Oracle reading in group format are on there. And you can also, if you're interested in like the trauma wellness program, that would be a conversation with me prior to getting into that trauma wellness program. Okay. But I love you all, and thank you so much for everything today. It was a beautiful live. I enjoyed myself, even with our technical glitches that had us, getting bopped around here. But at 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 15 seconds and counting, I think it's time for us to close down this live for today. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow for more. And we will be back 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Probably later, because me, my time thing's broken. my boundaries around time is just needs to be worked on. Let's put it that way. Okay, I love you guys. I love you. Bye. Have a wonderful day. We're gonna close.